Just bear with me a second, getting technology set up here. Okay. I'm sorry, it's going to be jiggly for just one sec. All right. Hey, welcome to Lunch Break with Shel. My name is Shel Anderson, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Today we are going to be having a play with the Tulip Fields bundle, as well as the Flowering Tulips stamp set. These are both from the January to June mini catalog. I'm also going to be using layering squares and layering circles dies. For today's card, I'm going to be using Evening Evergreen ink. I'm going to be using two Stampin' blends, the light and dark crumb cake. You'll need scissors and a paper piercer, as well as the Evening Evergreen window pane ribbon. My card base today is Evening Evergreen, and for the inside of my card, I have this little scrap of DSP, and I thought just to pretty that up a little bit, I have die cut the border from the bundle, and I'm just going to put this border in rich raspberry right along the bottom of this card or piece of cardstock, just to pretty that up a little bit on the inside. And we will trim off the excess and put this on the inside of the card so that we have a nice place to write our greeting. Now, I'm only making one card today. However, if you stick around to the end of the video, I have a second alternative card for you to see. All right, that is that. And this is the Tulip DSP, and I chose this piece with all these beautiful pinks and purples in it. And of course, the Evening Evergreen matches the card base. So we are going to take this DSP and pop that right on this matte layer. See how that rich raspberry makes this pop? And by using Tombow, it gives me just a couple of seconds of wiggle room. All right, now I've done a little bit of die cutting ahead of time. I have a scallop square and a regular square to layer on the top. That's going to be the focal place for my image. And my image is the little lighthouse from this bundle. And I am going to start with my dark crumb cake. And you'll notice when I die cut this, I didn't do a very good job. I've got too much white space on one side, but I think I'll be able to take care of that once we get our coloring done. So I am simply coloring the blades of the windmill with the dark crumb cake. And I just thought that it would be easier if I pre-stamped. I guess I'll do that window in dark, maybe the door in dark. If I pre-stamped the image and pre-die cut, just to save a little bit of time, because I know a lot of you watch these videos while on your lunch break, And if you're anything like me, you're only going to have a half-hour lunch. So I try to keep these videos short for that purpose. Now you'll notice that some of these, when this one here is fine and this one here is fine, but this one here has way too much white space. So I'm just going to grab my snips and trim that down. And I'm going to do the same with this one. It has way too much white space. There we go. I'm happy with that. All right, so we're going to grab some Tombow and we're going to layer this greeting piece together. Or, I'm sorry, it's not a greeting piece, it's a focal image piece. Now we can do this one of two ways. We can use this as a diamond or we can use it as a square. And how this is going to, oh, actually we should stamp this piece as well. Let me grab my Stamparatus. And I've got the greeting right on my Stamparatus that I've chosen for this one. And let's, whoops. Pop that on there. Actually, I'm going to bring it down for a minute because these stamps are super, super sticky when they don't have any ink on them. Oop, see, we're all right. Okay, now I'm going to ink it up with Evening Evergreen. And this greeting says, "No one deserves a happier birthday than you." Isn't that nice? I like that. All right. We'll pop that off and I'll set that aside and clean that up later. We can get rid of that ink pad and both of those Stampin' blends because we're done with those. All right. Now, my thought was that I was going to use this to put a little border on here. But let's just kind of lay this out dry and see what this is all going to look like. So pop that on there. Oh my. I guess we're going diamond shape and this is going to come down. See, I didn't plan that out very well. Actually, if I put that across there like so, and if I put that right in the middle, I could put a bow over here. That's going to work out. All right, so now we know we're going diamond shape. I'm going to glue this in place. Like so. All right. And this, I think I am going to cut it down just a wee bit. I think it's a tad wide for what I'm going to need here. So I cut that at 1 1/2. I'm going to cut it down to 1 1/4. There we go. Takes care of that. Now we're just going to take these little tulips and we are going to pop those in place. On the top of this, just to pretty it up a little bit. something like that. And we'll just grab our snips and trim off the excess. All right, now this just need to make sure I have room, so I need placement for this one. That's good right about there. So I'm going to grab a pencil. I'm just going to lift this up a bit. And I'm going to make some marks underneath where I need this to go. Now you probably can't see this because of all the pattern on the paper. And that's okay. See, I got a pencil mark on my greeting, if you can believe that. Good thing it's just pencil. All right. So what we have left is this, and I am not going to pop this up. Yeah, maybe I will. Why not? That'd be fun. I have some dimensionals here. It's the bones from the dimensionals, but they work just as well. So we're going to use those up. There we go. And then this, we will pop right in the center like that. Now, I also cut a green one of those. I didn't know what color I wanted to use for sure. So now I have this beautiful, beautiful evening evergreen window pane ribbon. So I'm going to grab my bow maker and we're going to make a bow. To embellish this with. There we go. And now I'll grab my ribbon scissors so that we can trim our tails. All right. Let's see what we've got here. I'm going to need some glue dots and a paper piercing tool. Well, maybe I can get this one on. There we go. Isn't that pretty? I love this ribbon. I didn't think I was going to like it, to be honest. I really didn't. But surprise! All right, now I'm going to grab my embellishments. And just bear with me a second, I'm going through these. Trying to find what I'm looking for. There we go. I've got some in color jewels. Now I have the standard ones that I purchased, and then I have these ones that I colored with my Stampin' blends. And I think this time I'm going to use these ones. And I'm just going to put a smattering of these gems on the front of this card. There we go. Set that out of the way. Find our desktop again. And now all we need to do is attach this to our card base. All right, make sure I'm putting it on the right side. Doesn't that rich raspberry and evening evergreen look lovely together? I love it. Check that out. All right, and as promised, here is the alternate that I did. Same pieces. This one here, I just wrapped the bow around. This one is a little bit wider. Remember, I cut this one down. And instead I used my layering circle dies instead of the layering squares. Now I don't have any bling on this one yet, so I think I will do that. But for this one, I think I'm going to use these ones. Now I know that these are not Mango Melody, but on this paper, they look fabulous. Isn't that cool? So there, my friends, are our two Tulip Fields and Flowering Tulips cards. Now, all I used from, get the stamp sets out here, I only used greetings from this stamp set, and I only used the images and the dies from this stamp set. All right, I hope you enjoyed this lunch break with Shel. I will be back Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon. Bye-bye for now.